The night the castle lights came back to life, the entire town heard the frozen clock strike for the first time in 50 years. That winter, snow fell over the valley of Elmwood for weeks without stopping. Every evening, warm golden lights glowed from cottage windows. Children built snowmen in the streets, and the townspeople often said they couldn't remember a winter this beautiful. Yet beyond the village, beside the frozen lake and the old castle on the hill, there was always silence. No one liked to go there. According to local legend, a long time ago the castle belonged to Adelina, the guardian of winter. Every New Year's Eve, she would grant wishes to those who came to the lake with kindness in their hearts. But many years earlier, darkness had settled over the castle. A sorcerer named Morvain, jealous of human happiness, stole its light. After that, wishes stopped coming true. Music disappeared, and little by little, people forgot how to believe in magic. Only the children still held on to hope. And among them was a young woman named Lily. She had long golden hair, a pink knitted hat with a pom-pom, and a habit of staring at the stars, even on the coldest nights. Every New Year's Eve, she came to the frozen lake and whispered the same wish. "Please bring the magic back." People smiled at her kindly. "Magic isn't real anymore," the baker would say. "The castle died long ago," grumbled the old clockmaker. "Fairy tales are for children." But Lily never stopped believing. That winter, a young traveler named Noah arrived in Elmwood. He was the son of a clockmaker from a northern town and had a talent for repairing old music boxes and antique clocks. He also had kind eyes and a smile warm enough to make winter seem less cold. On his very first evening in Elmwood, he saw Lily skating alone across the frozen lake beneath the moon. Snowflakes drifted softly onto her shoulders, while the dark castle reflected across the ice like something from a dream. Noah stood still, unable to look away. For a moment, it seemed as though the air around her was glowing. "Why are you here all alone?" he asked. Lily smiled. "I'm waiting for a miracle." Noah laughed gently. "Then maybe you need someone to wait with you." Together, they stepped onto the ice. They skated beneath the moonlight, laughing as snow swirled around them like silver dust. And for the first time in many years, one window in the castle lit up. Only for a moment. No one noticed. Except an old woman standing at the edge of the forest, it was Adelina herself, the true guardian of winter. Years ago, Morvain had stolen her power and trapped the castle's magic beneath a curse. But there was one ancient rule he could never break. If two pure hearts believed in magic together, the light could return. Adelina had waited many years for that moment. Unfortunately, Morvain felt the awakening too. That night, a bitter wind swept across the valley. Candles flickered out, clocks stopped ticking, and people began arguing with one another for no reason at all, because darkness feeds on fear. The next morning, strange cracks appeared across the frozen lake. The townspeople were terrified. "It's the castle's curse. We should leave before New Year's Eve. Magic only brings trouble." But Lily shook her head. "No," she said quietly. "The castle isn't evil. It's lonely." Noah looked at her and realized something surprising. He believed her. That evening, they returned to the lake. The northern lights shimmered across the sky. The snow sparkled with pale blue light, and for the first time in decades, the path leading to the castle began to clear. "It's calling us," Lily whispered. Together they climbed the hill. The castle doors opened by themselves. Inside, everything was covered in silver frost. Ancient Christmas trees stood frozen in time. Ornaments waited patiently on their branches. It felt as though a celebration had been paused many years ago and never resumed. At the center of the great hall stood a massive clock. Its hands were frozen 1 minute before midnight. If time never moves again, the new year will never truly arrive. The voice echoed through the hall. A woman appeared in a gown of ice blue silk. It was Adelina. Lily gasped. "You're real?" Adelina smiled. "As long as people still believe in kindness, I will always be real." She told them about Morvain, about how he wanted a world without joy, without music, without dreams, without love. "But darkness can never truly win," she said softly, "not while even one heart still carries light." Noah stepped toward the clock. "What do we need to do?" Adelina studied them carefully. "To start the clock again, you must make a wish." Lily nodded. "That's all?" Adelina shook her head. "The wish cannot be for yourselves." At that moment, the castle trembled. The candles went out, the windows darkened, and from the shadows emerged Morvain, tall and cloaked in black. His eyes burned like a winter storm. "People always choose fear," he said. "They've forgotten how to love, forgotten how to dream. This world already belongs to the cold." Lily felt fear creeping into her heart. But Noah squeezed her hand. Suddenly he remembered something his father used to say. "Even the smallest flame can defeat the longest winter." Noah stepped toward the great clock. "I know my wish." Adelina nodded. "Then speak it." Noah looked at Lily. "My wish is that she never loses her faith in miracles." Tears filled Lily's eyes. Then she stepped forward. "And my wish is that people learn to see the good in each other again." For a moment, the world stood still. Then the clock moved. A deep bell echoed through the castle. Golden light burst through the hall. The first chime, the second, the third. With every strike, the ice melted. Candles relit themselves. The Christmas tree shimmered with golden light. Morvain shouted in anger as the darkness around him began to disappear. The magic was returning. Because true magic is not born from power, it is born from love. The fourth chime, the fifth, the sixth. Outside, the entire valley began to glow. People stepped out of their homes and stared toward the castle. Children laughed again. Music returned to the streets. Families embraced. The fear that had gripped Elmwood slowly melted away. When the clock finally struck midnight, Morvain vanished into the winter wind, not because he had been destroyed, but because there was no fear left for him to feed on. Only light, only hope, only love. The castle blazed with thousands of golden lights. Music echoed across the frozen lake. Snow drifted through the air like sparkling stardust. Adelina approached Lily and Noah. "The magic has returned," she said. "And every New Year's Eve, this castle will grant wishes once again, as long as people remember that goodness begins with a single kind heart." From that day on, the people of Elmwood gathered beside the lake every winter. Children skated beneath the stars. Lanterns glowed along the bridge. Music drifted from the castle halls. And every New Year's Eve, Lily and Noah opened the celebration with the first dance on the ice. And if you ever stand beside the moonlit lake on a quiet winter night, you may still see a golden light shining from the castle windows. They say it's the magic reminding the world of something important. Miracles come to those who dare to believe, to love, and to share their light with others.
Thank you for listening to my story to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch it to the end and see the finished painting, which I also painted.